Right, welcome back to Nine Guys Walk Out of a Cornfield. This is our Field of Dreams expansion project in current day Major League Baseball. And I did a setup video prior to this titled Nine Guys Walk Out of a Cornfield, so check that out for a setup. As mentioned, we're going to do a game of the week that we're going to broadcast and do it for each team, simulate games between those games of the week, and get through this season and see how the dead ballers do against modern major league players and pitching. So we will start this off, and you see today's schedule, the game we will be playing today. And again, I'll do games of the week for each team. The first one is going to be the Iowa Barnstormers, which are the dead ball American League All-Stars, taking on the Texas Rangers pitching matchup, Smokey Joe Wood against Jacob de Grom. That should be a good one. So let's get to it. And you see they opened had a preseason game against the New York Yankees, which they won 9-5. Walter Johnson against Garrett Cole, and of course exhibition. They didn't pitch too deep into that, but I'm letting Connie Mack, of course, is the manager, and I'm letting him basically handle everything with the exception of base running, which his bench coach, Mr. Mulroy, will handle. So looking at this lineup again, a potent lineup for the Iowa Barnstormers, playing at Ray Kinsella Field in Iowa, where the Field of Dreams, of course, originates. Collins, Jackson, Cobb, and again I mentioned in the setup, Cobb, the least proficient of the three outfielders on the squad, so he's designated hitter. Lajoie hitting cleanup and playing short, again, because two premier second basemen, two of the all-time greats, actually, in Lajoie and Collins. So Lajoie can play short, so he's going to for this squad. Sam Crawford Tris Speaker in center bats fifth. Sam Crawford in right sixth. Stuffy McGinnis, the first baseman. Frank Baker at the hot corner, and Ray Schock, the honest White Sox from the 1919 debacle, or one of them, I shouldn't say the only one, and Smokey Joe Wood on the mound. So let's get right to this. All right, so DeGrom set to go, and we're going to do this in basically not pitch by pitch mode. We'll do it in at-bat resolution mode, again, to get through the games a little bit quicker and still capture the essence. So Eddie Collins, cocky Eddie Collins, one of the premier hitting as well as fielding second baseman of the dead ball era. Some people think he is the best, and he was a stalwart of Connie Mack's famous $100,000 infield in that era. We're ready to go. So take a look around the stadium, and we are at Texas. All right, here we go. DeGrom. And Collins, frozen on the inside, front foot slider, strikes out as the Texas Rangers off to a good start, much to the delight of their fans. So next up, Shoeless Joe Jackson wearing number 17, and Jackson ecstatic over this chance to play against the best competition again after his career was tragically cut short, and probably the least deserving of those players. And Shoeless Joe works DeGrom for a walk. So we have our first base runner for the Barnstormers. We'll see if he's going to be going. We expect the running game to be good for Connie Mack's squad, as Tyrus Raymond Cobb, one of the greatest hitters to ever play the game, of course, and one of the more despicable, though that's overstated a little bit, human beings. He still wasn't a terribly nice guy. We'll do some fun facts, like I said, as we get going. We'll do some fun facts on these players from the dead ball squads And Cobb, of course, will be included in that, even though most people know a lot about him already. So here we go. 0-1 pitch, and Cobb, a slow grounder to second, and they're going to have to eat that. Semien fields it, not in time to, or actually they're going to give him the force. So it looked like Jackson beat that. Connie Mack to the top step of the dugout. Not the type to argue, though, so he takes the call. 2 down now. Cobb at first base. Knapp Lajoie, cleanup hitter of the batter. Full count. And line to first base. And taking that to the bag himself is Lowe. And the Iowa Barnstormers, the dead ball American League All-Stars in their first Major League expansion game, go down 1-2-3 in the first inning. Smokey Joe Wood on the hill now, and Wood should have a pretty good, I'm predicting 7 to 8 strikeouts for Smokey Joe against the free-swinging modern players. Actually, let's go 9 or 10. I think Wood has got that in him. A very solid fastball. Here we go. Jankowski set, and he drives one into the outfield, and not a good start. That's going to one-hop the wall. And Jankowski, a leadoff double for the Texas Rangers. So our Iowa Barnstormers off to a inconspicuous start as Adolis Garcia steps up. Wood gets a sign from Ray Schock. 1-2 pitch, and that's driven into right field back. That's deep, and it is gone! Garcia cranks that 370 feet opposite field, right field wall, and Texas a 2-0 lead over the Iowa Barnstormers. So not quite the start that Connie Mack was hoping for with his 9, and let's see if Wood can settle down. Corey Seager at the plate. 2-0 pitch, and that's a good hitter's pitch, and that ball is deep into left. And Jackson makes the catch in foul territory against the wall. Not much room there, but first out of the inning as Evan Carter steps up. And Carter, the designated hitter for Texas. Wood has the sign. 1-2 pitch. Wood swings, and that is a looping ball into center field. So 3 of the first 4 batters for Texas have gotten to Smokey Joe Wood. And you see he does not look happy on the mound as Marcus Semien steps up. Ray Schock shouting some encouragement. That's a high pop fly. That's going to be in the infield. And gathering that in is Eddie Collins, 2 down. And if Wood can get out of here, only giving up a couple of runs with the start, I think that would be a small victory. And pitch to Lowe, that's going to be ball 4, so Wood gets a walk before his first strikeout. 4 straight balls to Lowe, and that brings up Josh Jung, and he is the Texas third baseman. Wood winds up, and that is another walk. So full count pitch, and Young goes down to first base. And this could get out of hand quickly for the Iowa Barnstormers. And again, their owner, Ray Kinsella, up in the stands in one of the luxury boxes, has to be wringing his hands. He pushed so hard and sued, actually going all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court to get his Field of Dreams 9s for both the AL and NL into Major League Baseball. And right now, looking like that is not a good move, and that's driven into the gap. That's going to be off the wall. Tavares cranks that, and Wood, here comes the runner, and that is going to be a bases clearing double. Wow. Smokey Joe Wood getting absolutely shellacked here in the first inning. Leody Tavares at second base, Jonah Heim at the plate. And Wood finally a strikeout. And that ends the inning mercifully. But 5 runs on 4 hits. And Texas batters Smokey Joe Wood in the top of the first. Jacob de Grom against this potent lineup, a solid lead. I'm sure he's going to come right at them as Tris Speaker steps up. The left-handed hitting Speaker, one of the greatest center fielders, of course, of all time, played a very shallow center field. And de Grom freezes him, high heat, and Speaker can't pull the trigger. So 1 down, and wahoo Sam Crawford. And check out my Dead Ball Diaries. Sam Crawford and the Dead Ball Diaries come from the audio recordings of Glory of Their Times, and they're in the vlog section on the channel. Sam Crawford, one of my favorite Dead Ball Diaries subjects. Very fascinating man. He gave a great interview to Larry Ritter, and of course, always good to hear these legends talk in their the legend doing the talking versus reading it in a book. So here we go. Let's see if Sam can get things going against DeGrom. 0-1 pitch, grounded down to second base, and that's going to be an easy out for Semien. 2 down, and the Barnstormers still looking for their first hit as Stuffy McGinnis steps up to the plate. McGinnis, a great contact hitter, pretty solid defensive third baseman, no pop at all. And finally, the Iowa Barnstormers, their first hit of the Major League season. Stuffy McGinnis, a 2-out single on a 2-1 pitch from DeGrom. And that will bring up the third baseman, Frank Home Run Baker. Baker digs in, and again, he was part of Connie Mack's famous $100,000 infield. And Connie Mack's squad, even with a 5-run deficit, wastes no time as DeGrom, not even paying attention to McGinnis over there. A good jump for Stuffy, and stolen base number 1 for him for the year. As Baker now, runner in scoring position, grounded at second base. Semien over to first base, easy toss, and the Barnstormers are retired again. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second, and Smokey Joe Wood off to a terrible start. Gave up 4 hits and 2 walks in that first. Let's see if he can settle down. Texas batted around, so back to the top of the order. Jankowski, who led off the game with a double. And it's hit on the ground to Collins at second. Nice range there, and gets him by a wide margin. 1 down, a much better start for Wood here in the second as Adolis Garcia, who homered in the first, steps up. 1-0 pitch, Wood, and that is going to be another bloop single into left field. So Garcia, second hit of the day. And still no action in the Barnstormers bullpen. That's not how they played it in the dead ball era. Pitchers were expected to complete what they started. I don't think Wood can last in this one, though. Swing and a miss, and outside pitch on the changeup. Smokey Joe Wood, his second strikeout of the game. That's going to bring up Evan Carter. And Carter, again, the designated hitter. He also had a hit his first time up. Garcia at first. Here comes a pitch. 2-2, and Garcia goes. Shock, double pumps, had an issue getting that ball out of the glove, and Garcia and Texas showing they're going to run a little bit too. So full count to Carter, Smokey Joe, and that is his third walk. Wood is having problems finding the plate early in this one. So 2 down, runners on first and second, and that's going to bring up Marcus Semien. Ground ball down to Collins, and he is going to go to first. Side is retired, so Wood, a walk and a hit, but no damage this time as we head to the top of the third. 5-0 Rangers up over the Iowa Field of Dream Barnstormers. Ray Schock to lead it off. Schock, definitely not one of the worst bat in this lineup, but a good defensive catcher. And he lays that down off the plate. Is he going to beat it? And yes, by an eyelash, Schock is nipped. I think Heim not used to catchers running that well, but again, these guys had to run. It was a dead ball era. Eddie Collins, top of the order for Iowa. Here comes a pitch, and Collins right back up the middle, and that's fielded at short, and Seager, nice quick throw to retire the speedy Collins at first base. 2 up, 2 down, and Shoeless Joe steps in. Joe, 0 for 1 in this one. Here comes a pitch from DeGrom, and ball 4. So Shoeless Joe draws a 2-out walk, and that will bring up Ty Cobb. Cobb, one of the fiercest competitors, of course, in the history of Major League Baseball, goes down to third, and going the short way is Young, and Side is retired again. So heading to the bottom of the third, the Texas Rangers, and surprisingly through spring training, and it's spring training, but both of these squads handled a large number of their modern Major League counterparts. Not so on opening day as Smokey Joe 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be yet another single blooped into center field and low. On again, that's going to bring up Josh Young, and Young walked his first time up. Lowe gets the lead, not a threat to steal. And that's going to be a line drive, and going up to snare that, Nap Lajoie from the shortstop position. A fine defensive play that draws polite applause from the Texas faithful. Smokey Joe Wood now, Leody Taveras, and Taveras cleared the bases in the first inning with a 3-run double. Wood, strike 3 on the outside corner, swing and a miss, and Wood settling down now and pitching with a little bit of anger. 2 down. Jonah Heim is the batter. Ranger catcher. Waits for the pitch and swing and a miss. And Smokey Joe Wood has got that fastball going. That's 4 strikeouts for him as we head to the top of the 4th. 5-0, Texas in front. And de Grom cruising along. Nap Lajoie leads it off. Grom 2 walks, 2 strikeouts thus far. Lajoie cranks that into left field, and easy routine play out there for Taveras. 1 down. De Grom a single hit and 2 walks through 3+ innings. He is handling this powerful barnstormer lineup, but Tris Speaker ropes that into the corner in right field. That's going to be a definite double. Speaker chugging towards second base, and he's in standing up. A 1-out double and another runner in scoring position for the Barnstormers. It's going to bring up Wahoo Sam Crawford. De Grom looking to bear down and get out of this. That's a fly ball into left in foul territory, and Taveras makes the play. I'm sorry, Jankowski. So 2 down, and Speaker at second base. Batter is Stuffy McGinnis, and Stuffy had to hit his first at bat, and that's lying down third base. Wow, and what a play by Young. Rifle that ball across the diamond. Side is retired, and 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We are heading to the bottom of the 4th, and Iowa still looking to get on the board for the first time in their 2024 season. As Wood still on the hill for the Barnstormers to face Jankowski. 3rd time through the lineup. Let's see how Wood can handle the Rangers here. High pop fly, and looks like that's going to be Lajoie at short. Pulls it in, 1 quick out. Wood now facing Garcia, and Garcia 2 for 2 with a home run, 2 RBIs in this one. Here comes the pitch, 1-2, swing and a miss. And Joe Wood with a punchy to get his 5th strikeout. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, and Wood wishing he had started the game like this as Corey Seager steps in. Seager 0 for 2 today. Wood winds, kicks, delivers, and another high pop fly. Lajoie calls that and makes the out. So Wood, after giving up 4 hits and 5 runs in the first inning, has settled down. We're through 4. Texas, though, with a 5-0 lead. And the way de Grom is pitching looks like that could be insurmountable. We will see as Frank Home Run Baker, so nicknamed for his exploits in the 1911 World Series, and he goes down on strikes on a 2-2 pitch. De Grom, backdoor slider, 1 down. Catcher Ray Schock is up, and Schock today 0 for 1. De Grom gets a signal, and that's hit and dies in the grass at third. Can Young get him? And they're going to call Schock out again. Another close play, and again that brings Connie Mack up to the dugout steps, but the most he can muster is a gosh darn it for the umpire. Not ejection worthy. Game goes on. Eddie Collins 2 down. Top of the 5th. And Collins caught looking. So we are halfway through this game as Cocky Eddie goes down on strikes. And Texas looking like they are cruising to a very big opening day win over the Iowa Barnstormers, the favorite in the AL Central preseason. Smokey Joe Wood still on the mound in the 5th, and that is another bloop hit. So Wood, he's given up 3 or 4 of these bloop variety singles, and he's been hit hard 3 times as well. But Carter leads it off with a single. Evan Carter, the DH, on first as Marcus Semien, second baseman, steps in. Semien 0 for 2 today. Wood, 3-1 pitch, and that is another walk. That's 4, I believe, for Smokey Joe Wood. 4 walks, 5 Ks through 4 innings. And still no action in that bullpen. Connie Mack, that's a drops in front of the right fielder. And there's going to be a play. No, there is not. So Texas up 6-0 as Lowe scores. And I might have to interject myself and get, actually, there is a change. That was it for Smokey Joe. Addie Joss now is on the hill, so Connie Mack. Seen enough. Smokey Joe didn't have it today. Addie Joss hit down to second base. To short, Lajoie over to first, and a nice double play. Semien over to third base, but 2 outs, so Joss does what he was expected to do as Leody Taveras steps in, 2 for 1 with 3 RBIs. That bases clearing double in the first, and Addie strike 3 and prevents further damage as we head to the top of the 6th inning. 6-0 now, Texas up over the Iowa Barnstormers. De Grom to face Shoeless Joe Jackson. And Iowa looking for a rally, and Semien leaves his feet and makes the stab there. A nice play on a line drive by Shoeless Joe. 1 down, Ty Cobb steps in. Cobb 0 for 2 today. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit into left field. Is Cobb going to try and stretch it? And he holds a long single down the line for Ty Cobb. Coming off a 1-1 fastball from de Grom. 1 on, 1 out. Let's see if Cobb is running with Lajoie at the plate. And he takes off on the first pitch. Throw down, and Cobb nails. So Jonah Heim, enough of this nonsense. He comes up firing, and Ty Cobb gunned down. 1-1 pitch from de Grom, and Lajoie a trickler to the mound. Is de Grom going to get to it in time? He is not, as Lajoie hustling has an infield hit. So that costly caught stealing by Cobb more relevant now as Trispeaker gosh, they are running. And Lajoie, who would have thought 3 stolen base attempts, Lajoie and Stuffy McGinnis successful, and Ty Cobb not, but a runner in scoring position for Speaker. Pitch from de Grom and grounded Semien at second base, short throw to first base, and side is retired. So heading to the bottom of the 6th, 6-0, Texas up over Iowa. Ground ball down to third. Baker charging, and he is easily going to get to Heim, the slow-footed catcher, as he lumbers down the first base line. Addie Joss facing Travis Jankowski. Joss 1 1/3 hitless inning so far with a strikeout. Jankowski today 1 for 3. Here comes a pitch from Joss, and that's going to be a line drive, and I don't know what happened there. But unable to snag that at first base is McGinnis, normally a very good defensive infielder. So Joss gives up his first hit, and Adolis Garcia, 2 for 3, home run, 2 ribbies in this one, and checks his swing, and ball 4, the appeal. First base umpire said he did not go around, so Joss in a little bit of trouble now as Corey Seager steps up. 0-1 pitch, and Seager, and snagged, and back to first base, a double play. Great play at first base by McGinnis. He makes up for that miscue on the Jankowski hit. So we're heading to the top of the 7th inning, and de Grom still on the hill for Texas. 94 pitches through 6 innings for Jacob, and Sam Crawford are going to lead it off. We'll see how long they let him go, as that's a shallow fly ball into center field. Taveras hustles, pulls that in, 1 down. Stuffy McGinnis the batter now. McGinnis today 1 for 2. DeGrom gets the sign. 0-1 pitch to McGinnis. And Stuffy pops it up into the infield and over to retire him in foul territory is Lowe. So Nathaniel Lowe records the second out, and Frank Home Run Baker up to the plate now. It's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, and Seager. Closer than it had to be, but the Barnstormers scoreless still through 7 innings on a masterful 4-hitter by Jacob de Grom. I do not have a 7th inning fun fact for this one, but they will be a regular installment on these games of the week. So we'll get right to it. Joss starting his 3rd inning of work. Evan Carter, he is 2 for 2 today. That's a high fly ball into left field. Shoeless Joe coming hard, makes the catch. And Shoeless Joe, actually all of the Barnstormer outfielders can cover some ground out there, as Marcus Semien, 0 for 2 today, has also walked. Steps up, and that's going to be a high fly ball into center. Here comes Speaker, and gets to that in plenty of time. Again, Speaker does not play the deepest center field, so no problem getting to that, as Nathaniel Lowe is the batter now. Lowe today 2 for 2 with a ribby. And a walk. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be his 3rd hit of the day. Lowe, absolutely murdering dead ball era pitching. 3 for 3 with a walk. 2-out single, and that brings up Josh Young. And Young, here comes a pitch. That's a high fly ball into center. Speaker settles under that, makes the catch. 7th inning in the books. So 2 innings to go for the Barnstormers, and Texas has finally brought in a new pitcher. Dane Dunning takes the hill for DeGrom. DeGrom, what an outing. 7 innings, 4 hits, and shut down a very powerful lineup. Let's see if they can get to the Texas bullpen now. And that is going to be a bloop fly ball from Schock into right field. So first batter gets hit number 5 for Iowa. Let's see if this is a start of a rally. Eddie Collins up. Collins today 0 for 3, looking for his first hit. And that is I don't know what happened there. Okay, graphical glitch. Seager just froze on that. Looked like a easy, soft line drive, and Seager short-armed it. Went over his head, so runners on first and second for the Iowa Barnstormers, and this is how all bad innings start. Joe Jackson up, and he cranks that into right. That's going to get down, and that's going to go to the wall, and that will clear the bases as Jackson in at second base. Coming in to score is Schock, and actually Collins holds at third. I thought he would score easily on that. But looks like they want to set up Cobb to get a couple of RBIs, so Dane Dunning, in relief of Jacob de Grom, who pitched a splendid game, has now given up 3 straight hits to the Iowa Barnstormers. Pitch to Cobb, swing and a miss, and he jammed him in tight. That is a big out for the Texas bullpen. Jonah Hine puts the signs down now for Dunning. Nap Lajoie up. Here comes the pitch, and that's raked into right field, and wow, Garcia. Circus catch. Collins is going to score from third, but a great catch by Garcia in right field. That definitely saved a run. So 2 outs now and no base runners on. It is 6-2 Texas, and they're going to the bullpen again as Andrew Heaney comes in. Heaney, velo 94 to 96 miles an hour, has good stuff, especially against lefties. Tris Speaker steps in 1 for 3, and Speaker's going to bloop that the opposite way into left field. So 2-out hit, and a 3rd run comes in for the Barnstormers now as Jackson scores. It is now 6-3, so the Barnstormers making noise late in this. Crawford the batter, and that's going to be a high fly ball into left. No problem there, and Jankowski only has to move a couple of feet. He pulls it in, but 3 runs on 4 hits for the Iowa 9, and they have made this a ball game again. Only 1 inning to go, though. 6-3, bottom of the 8th. Joss still on the hill for the Barnstormers. Ground ball down to short base. Nice stop by Lajoie. Gets to his feet and nips Tavares easily at first base. 1 down. So Joss keeping them in the game. He did give up a run in the 5th. But still, they're going to have a shot as that's popped up high, and Frank Baker calls everyone off. One thing you don't see in modern baseball, Joss hustling to try and get in on that pop-up as well, but Baker calls him off. Here comes a full count pitch and a soft line drive. McGinnis stares that. So we're going to head to the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for Iowa. Josh Sabors, I hope I'm saying that right, I should know, but in for relief, and he has the opportunity to record a save here for Texas. And it's going to be bottom third of the order, though. McGinnis, Baker, and Schock. Again, that doesn't mean necessarily a lot, as both McGinnis and Baker solid hitters. Schock not so much. Comes the pitch to McGinnis, and that's a hard ground ball down to second base. Simeon gathers and throws. 1 down. Frank home run Baker. And we don't need a home run here, just something to start a rally. As Boers has a sign, that's driven into right field, and stretching out again, Garcia. 2 beautiful catches in the last 2 innings made by him in right field, and that's 2 down. Texas fan base is on their feet. They are getting a chant going, mocking Kinsella up in the one of the luxury boxes, the owner of this Iowa Barnstormer team. So Schock 1 for 3 today, as Josh Sabors winds up. Here comes the pitch, and that is a walk. So Schock on for the 2nd time today. And that brings up the top of the order, and there is some competent hitters here in the first 4 spots for the Barnstormers. Eddie Collins, one of them, 1 for 4 today. Here comes a pitch, and Collins whips that into right, and another sliding catch by Garcia. Garcia might be the late inning hero here for Texas. He saved at least a couple of runs. But that is your ball game. So Texas welcomes the Field of Dreams expansion team to modern Major League Baseball with a 6-3 victory. So let's take a look at the box score. And again, really the story of this was the pitching of Jacob de Grom. He shut this powerful squad down. So for Iowa, 3 runs on 8 hits. 3 walks, were struck out 5 times, left 12 runners on base. Texas left a boatload of runners on base as well. 6 runs, 10 hits. They suffered 5 walks and 6 strikeouts. Smokey Joe Wood with a spiffy 13.50 ERA after his first start, and did not quite reach that strikeout total I predicted. Went 4 innings, gave up 8 of those 10 hits, all 6 runs charged to him, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, and that was his problem today. He was wild and had to come in, take a little bit off to try and find the strike zone, and Texas just hammered him. Jacob de Grom has got to be the player of the game. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. And that is going to do it here from Globe Life Field in Texas. Hope you enjoyed this. If you do, come back and catch all of our games of the week. Like I said, we'll do the Louisville game as well. Then we'll sim a week and do it that way. Because obviously it would take way too long to sim every game for both teams. So it'll be sporadic. And Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, hope you have a great Memorial Day. And again, a special shout out there to all who have sacrificed and given their lives for this country. Proud to be a veteran, proud to have a son currently in the Navy. So thank you to everybody who made the ultimate sacrifice for us, and we'll see you next time Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Take care and keep playing games.